Honestly, I remember sitting on my bed just looking at this medal going, did I actually just win the best and fairest? Hi, I'm Erin Phillips, and today we'll be looking back on some pretty special moments throughout my career. All right, this is the 2017 Grand Final. Honestly, I came into the Grand Final feeling really confident. Our chemistry was awesome and I felt really good leading into that game. The only issue, my daughter, Brooklyn, she was up at 2 a.m. for about 2 hours having a party, and I was trying to tell her that Mum's got a game and it's kind of a big deal. So if you could go back to sleep, that would be good. And I remember just every time we kicked a goal, it was just, oh, thank God, relief. Get another one. I was last to the contest because I'm not very fast. Luckily that ball came out behind and I was able to pinch a goal. So exciting. The crowd was electric. The game was so intense. And I do remember feeling like, gosh, this was the longest game ever. Like, this is the hardest game I've ever had to play in up until that point. This is the best moments as a team when you finally reach the top of the mountain and you get to hold up the cup, celebrate with each other. I just can't describe it, how unbelievably amazing you feel. And for me, it was a little bit later on in the night when I kind of had some quiet time to reflect, and gosh, that was the very first AFLW Grand Final. Gosh, it was special. I hadn't even thought about who you're up against, best and fairest medals. I just wanted to go and win and have fun, and I was just so grateful for the opportunity to be there and actually get to play football. Probably halfway through the count thinking, oh my God, I actually could win this, you know. I remember just feeling incredibly nervous at this moment, completely just in shock and honoured, not having anything prepared, just trying not to forget about anyone, which I probably did, so I apologise if I did that night. I still can't remember what I said. Tracy and I didn't get too many nights to go out and celebrate, having very young babies. We still had a lot of fun, and to be able to share a night like that with her. I actually wasn't out very late at all. I probably would have been one of the first people home. The very next morning I was flying to Darwin for our Crow's Best and Fairest night. So Tracy actually went back to my sister's hotel because they were flying out the next day. Honestly, I remember sitting on my bed just looking at this medal going, did I actually just win the best and fairest? I called my dad. I just said, I can't believe I've won this. And it's just, yeah, went back to my hotel and tried to get as much sleep as I could because it was the first night in a long time I didn't have kids. So 2019 Grand Final, and it was so historic for so many reasons, but having 53,000+ people there watching our game and not just supporting the Crows in Carlton but supporting women's footy and sport was unreal. I remember even in warm-up looking up at the second rafters when I was doing some set shots thinking, oh my God, there's people that high up too. So was having a lot of fun up until that point of the game. And I remember planting my left foot. I heard a really loud crack and I felt pretty much my whole leg shift. I knew it was definitely my knee, but I thought initially that I may have also broken my leg because I'd never heard a crack that loud either. It was pretty horrific, I won't lie. Knowing that I'd done my ACL and I was obviously 99% sure that I'd at least done that was really deflating, especially when you're in a grand final and you'd want to be out there for the whole game. I felt a lot of love getting carted off and having players from both my team and Carlton come up to me and shake my hand, pat me on the back, wish me well, and Chelsea and I are really close, and she said something along the lines of, we've got this, mate, don't worry, we've got this. And I think we were comfortably in front. We had a nice lead, and I thought to myself, bloody hope so, you know. Like, one of those things was unfortunate. It's a part of sport. It happened in a grand final, unfortunately, but at least we got the win, and I was still able to celebrate with my teammates and have a pretty good night that night too. This was a fun night, purely the fact too that I wasn't wearing heels, so I was wearing my Puma shoes because I couldn't walk in heels. Yeah, really special to win my second AFLW Best and Fairest, and on the back of a really incredible year. I just remember, I think it was probably about the last round, I think I already knew that I was going to win, and then the nerves set in of, oh my God, remember to thank people if you get up there, and my heart was racing and I was really nervous. I do remember I'm always nervous to walk up steps on the stage because I'm like, don't fall down. Such an incredible moment. I just felt pure relief, to get back at the top of the mountain after we had lost the year before to Brisbane. Throughout COVID and how hard that was for everybody involved, obviously not just my team and other teams, but the whole world. And I was in a caravan being away from my family to make sure that I could play in these games, and the sacrifices that everyone makes to be able to make sure that they're there on that day and be able to perform I was more proud of the fact that we had that resilience and heart to be able to go from such a disappointing year before to get so close, to be back there and finally, win after losing it the year before was really special. It took a lot of guts and courage, and I thought, yeah, it was a special moment. Yeah, they're all special. I do remember Matthew Clark, after we lost that year before, we talked about winning 2 premierships is awesome. And it's amazing and incredible, and you feel proud. But there's something about a third that is dynasty. It's I don't know, the number 3 seems so much bigger than 2. And then when we lost, I remember my heart breaking because that number 3, it's something I've never been able to conquer in my career. I've been to 2 Olympics, 2 WNBA titles, and it was like the third was I the bad omen of ever getting a third for this club? So when we won, and that third was, it was just unreal. It was almost like the hoodoo of, the number 2 was finally gone away. But only afterwards, did I make that decision to leave. But in that moment, I certainly wasn't thinking about that for sure. I was trying to stitch my dad up because he thought I was about to have a photo with the number 22, which was his number at Port. He sneaks into training a lot and watches our training at night, and when that was announced I knew he was not too far away. So I told our media team, I said, I'll go tell my dad, if he's here, and we'll get a photo and we'll pretend like he won't know why I'm holding the number 1 up. Getting to tell him I was captain, it'll be one of those moments that Dad and I will have, and that will be something we'll never forget, and that will be our moment. Never ever in my wildest dreams thinking that I'd ever get to play for this club. And then to have that moment with my dad was something that, I don't care how old and grey I'll get, I'll never forget about that. Amazing, everyone was really nervous. I remember looking at my teammates and just going, well, this is a big moment for the club. The first ever game for Port Adelaide women's team, and the heart rate was racing, and I remember walking down the race going, wow, I'm actually about to run out for Port Adelaide here. This is nuts. This is crazy. I knew Maggie McLaughlin has about a 70-metre drop punt, and I thought, no, these girls are going up too close to the mark. I'm going to stay down, and getting on the back of that, kicking the first goal for Port, to be honest, was about bloody time I did. So it was good. It was nice. It was a good moment. And even better that we won that game. The first goals are always memorable. The first one for Crows, I think I socketed it off the ground. My teammates were giving me grief and like, hurry up and bloody kick a goal, would ya? And I said to them, all right, we'll do it today. And then I did, so yeah, it was good. It was a fun moment, and like I said, to kick your first one and also celebrate a win was really cool. Just recently, announcing my retirement. Even though I felt like in some levels I just got here, and it was only 2 seasons. It was definitely the right time, and I was nervous that morning before doing the presser, and we had training that morning, and I got there earlier than normal. Started walking laps around Alberton just to kind of gather my thoughts. I made a few phone calls on that morning before the press release went out, and called Chelsea Randall and Phil Harper and people that that had made such an impact on my football career, and that I wanted to tell them before it became public. Chelsea had known probably for a little bit. I wanted to give her a call and just thank her for everything, and the club, and obviously the Crows and the people involved there. So yeah, I had my family in that presser to the right of me, and they were tearing up. So tried not to look at them, otherwise it would have set me off. I was so overwhelmed by the amount of people that reached out, you know, not just your friends and family, but players from other teams and teammates from basketball from overseas. So the amount of messages, and a lot of the messages being about my legacy and the things that I've done for the game, was really, really special. And I started to feel that impact of, you know, what I've been able to do. But for me, I'm just so grateful for the opportunity to even get to play one game of football. You know, I was a young, die-hard football kid who just wanted to play this game, and to have played, what was it, 66 games in the end for 2 great clubs, you know, win 3 premierships, to finish off my career at a team that I grew up loving and playing, to wear my dad's number. I mean, like, I've got some pretty special football gods looking after me, whoever they are. Yeah, it was coming into 3/4 time. I could hear whispers of like, if Erin's open, you know, just hit her up, you know. If she's on a lead, just kick it to her. And I was like, oh my God, I know what's going to happen. Oh, you know, they'll just be randomly trying to kick to me, and like this will go, you know, this could go anyway. To get on the end of a pretty nice Gemma Houghton kick into the forward lines, and to be honest, it was probably one of the most pressured kicks I've ever had to take, because I knew how much I could feel how much they wanted me to kick a goal. I could feel my teammates behind me like creeping up on me. I thought, oh, I've got to kick this now. And I was a bit nervous of when I do, they're about to smash me in a minute. So yeah, it was nice. It was a perfect way to finish off the game, perfect way to finish off my career. But to win on Alberton Oval, which I've seen many games that Port Magpies have won on that oval, was really special. And to have my family, and God, my ticket request was ridiculous for that game, but to have them all there watching, supporting was awesome. It was really special. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe.